With all these crazy headlines, it's no doubt that 2024 will be a crazy year for the real estate industry. For those in SoCal, I'm going to give you some insights on how the housing market will look in 2024. My name is Walter Van, realtor and investor with Digital Movement Realtors and eXp. The information I'll be providing comes directly from what we are experiencing firsthand every day with our buyers and sellers, as well as information from our sources such as National Association of Realtors, KTLA, Fox LA, USA Today, and many others. So what is the reason for this drastic change in 2024? To explain, let's take a quick look at what happened in 2023. Feel free to skip through this if you already have an idea of how 2023 was, and I'll have this timestamp right here. In 2023, rates were as high as 8% at one point, and many people thought prices would come down. I don't blame them for thinking that way because who would want to buy with rates so high? Now, while yes, depending on the area, you saw minor dips here and there, and the market equalized due to the high rates, but it was not enough to persuade the flood of buyers rushing back into the market to buy homes. Not to say there was none. There will always be people that needs to buy. Despite the amount of people that withdrew from the market, supply was so low that we never quite rebounded from the housing shortage. Now, the amount of homes available on market was just not enough to satisfy the buyer's demand, ultimately keeping the prices from falling. It just didn't make sense for the homeowners, who the majority have rates below as 5 or even 4%, to put their homes on the market and buy another one with rates double their current rate. Now, 2024 will be a different ballgame. Feds are expected to cut the rates 3 times this year. Government mortgage rates have already began to fall below 6% as the recording of this video, and the Feds have not even officially cut the rates yet. There's already an influx of buyers coming back into the market. Can you imagine what it'll be like if the rates keep falling this year? Now, the California Association of Realtors are forecasting a 22.9% increase in inventory of single-family homes, reaching over 327,000 units. But even with this increase, keep in mind that this is still considered low inventory. With this kind of expectation, home prices are expected to rise around 6.2%, making the median household price around $680,300. Now, what does it mean for buyers? 2023 has taught buyers that they can get a deal if they buy a home with rates are high, if they can handle the high mortgage rates until they refi. Most of you that listen to Dave Ramsey or Barbara Corcoran know that they always advise us to buy when rates are high and refi when rates drop. Not only do you get the appreciation when rates start falling, you also bought your home for a lot less for what buyers are going to pay for when rates fall this year. So if you're looking to buy a house this year, I would recommend buying sooner than later because there's less competition, and I agree with you guys. Home prices are pretty high, but it looks like it's only going to get a little bit higher. But don't worry, there are a couple of benefits this year for buyers in California. The California Dream for All program will be back this year. Now, this is a down payment assistance program that will allow buyers to borrow 20% to pay for the down payment of their home. There will be a $200 million pool of funds this year, and getting selected this time will require some luck, as California will be implementing a lottery system instead of a first-come, first-served basis they had last year. There is another program that released back in November 18th last year that targets investors wanting to buy 3 to 4 units, allowing them to qualify with just 5% down. This stirred up the question of whether you should buy a single family first or an investment property as your first home. For a lot of our clients, they're considering selling their current home to take advantage of the 5% down in order to buy multiple investment properties over the year in the next couple of years to create generational wealth. I'm sure it's something you're thinking about as well. Now, these cities that if you're a buyer, you might want to buy sooner than later because these cities are predicted to have the highest sales growth. According to USA Today and many others are saying that these 5 metro areas, which are right here in Southern California, will possibly see the highest average sales growth around 13.1%. Now, these cities are Oxnard, San Diego, Riverside, Bakersfield, and Los Angeles. Now, Long Beach is around 9.2%. So if you're a homeowner in these areas and you're thinking about selling, this year might be a great year for you. A lot of these sellers that were on the fence about selling their house last year because they didn't want to pay the high interest rates when upgrading to their new house, Expect that to change this year in 2024 because the National Association of Realtors predict that the average rate for this year in 2024 will be around 6.3%. And I'm just going to predict that it's going to be a fun time for home sellers this year. If you're into luxury homes, keep in mind that you're in a separate market compared to normal residential properties. Now, even though many out there are saying that homes are already unaffordable, but if you're selling what's considered a luxury home in California, it's important to understand where your property fits in this market. You gotta pay attention to how it's performing, and then you make your decision as you see fit. Just remember that luxury market moves like fine wine. It moves at its own sophisticated pace, where the normal market moves a bit fast like a race car. Okay, it's fast, it's fun, and it's the first one to the finish line. So whether you're buying or selling, staying informed is key. Okay, keeping an eye on the economic surf report, the news, and being ready to ride the waves. But don't believe everything you see in the news, especially national headlines. Every local market is different. What you see in Long Beach may be completely different from what's happening in the 626 or the OC. Better yet, just ask us or your realtors. And remember, flexibility is your best friend in this market. Being ready in this market makes all the difference and can save you a ton of money. Okay, our team advises all of our potential buyers to get pre-approved early to understand the numbers and what you can actually afford. And if you're thinking about selling, be prepared to have a strategy and a plan in place because timing is key. So there you have it, your 2024 SoCal housing forecast served with a side of hope and a dash of optimism. So whether you're buying or selling, remember every home has a story and you're just turning the page to the next chapter of your own story in your home finding or selling journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real estate insights and optimism. I'm off to listen to more incredible home buyers and sellers' story. See you in the next one.